Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Liz Easley from the Lancaster campus, and today I am interviewing a student involved in undergraduate research on the Lancaster campus. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your major and where you are in your degree process.
Well, thank you, Dr. Easley, for this opportunity for this conversation. I'm Cynthia Curtis. I live in Lancaster. I am a student at the USCL campus. I'm a Palmetto College student. I'm a senior. Um, I am a lifelong learner in the university system. I have a degree, a BS in secondary English creative writing from way back from the Midwest. But when I came to Lancaster after living in El Salvador for over 21 years and found the university, found the Native American Study Center, found what the university offers, I started to work on an anthropology degree. So that's what my pursuit is. And I hope to graduate um, the end of 2023.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in undergraduate research. Is this something you were definitely planning on doing, or how did that come about?
So I will say that this opportunity found me. I did not think I would be searching for research opportunities as a learner. Um, in my past, I have done research around US policy towards Central America. Um, I have done a lot of work with Central American immigration issues and story gathering, and I've been doing a lot of translation. But I guess I never considered myself a researcher with a capital R. So I see research as a tool, as a strategy, as an opportunity, um, not to satisfy what the information I'm looking for. Of course, it is a tool that does that, and to learn and continue to have such discoveries and confirmations of fact, I guess. But also as a tool that those who we are studying can have access to their information, to their lives, to their own discoveries. So I think at USCL too, I have just found all the ingredients. The support for doing research. I have the honor of being accompanied by Professor Chris Judge as my mentor in anthropology. And with his guidance, I have been able to do a project in El Salvador with women, with rural women. And it's an oral history project. So it combines anthropology and archaeology um, to discover memory and voice of women who live in a former war zone that is populated by an archaeological site that they have never had access to. But folks like me from the outside come in and visit archaeological sites, but those who are the descendants of them may not have the opportunity. And there's many, many factors for that. So anyway, that's what the research that I've been able to do, supported by the Pure Research Award this summer, and with Professor Judge's mentorship. We have started a project, The Sleeping Woman Speaks, Memory and Voice of the Women of the Guazapa Volcano in El Salvador.
Wonderful. Wow, that's so interesting. What is your favorite part about participating in research and why?
Yeah, I think maybe tying into that, for anthropology, for an oral history project, or more than a project, for this opportunity, and I don't want to box it into a project, um, because learning continues. And um, in countries in a post-conflict situation, which Central American countries, most of them have had that. But in El Salvador, the women that are in participating in this project, they are 12 women. They were all participants in the war, that there was a civil war from 1980 to 1992, and the women in the project are either women who participated directly, or they are daughters or granddaughters of women who participated directly in a war. Some are massacre survivors, some were medics in the war. At any rate, their point of departure in their identity is war. Yet there is so much behind them and around them with their indigenous ancestral origin. And so it's really the opportunity to use a research experience to pass them the microphone, to give them the resources they need, the support they need to look further back. And just I'll finish here with El Salvador is not like Guatemala or Peru, where archaeology and indigenous civilizations and knowledge and are so elevated, are so visible. In El Salvador, starting in the 1930s, the military dictatorships exterminated indigenous populations, and so people had to almost go underground with expressing or not expressing their indigenous language, dress, etc. So it's all been buried. There's a lot of archaeology that happens in oral history work in a place like El Salvador. So it's touching on all of that and learning as we go. How do you do this?
Right, right. Such important work.
Yes,
Tell
yes.
it, tell us about the skills that you've developed through research specifically, because there's a lot of transferable type skills that you're able to learn. And how does that apply to your life at large, to career opportunities, that sort of thing?
So, yeah, there's a lot there. I think in terms of my career opportunities, um, I do work full time with a philanthropic foundation. At the same time, I do hope to pursue a master's degree in cultural anthropology after graduation at USC. And um, so I definitely see this experience contributing to cultural anthropology, um, understanding capacity. Um, but I think the concrete skills, just active listening,
Mm,
oral history, and what I love about cultural anthropology is this philosophy of do no harm. So that has been from the get-go, like not doing research to people,
right.
but rather research is an opportunity for and with people where we are all learning from each other and sharing and hopefully all of this has benefits for who we are as people who inhabit the planet at the same time, right? So I think that oral history skills, um, field work, and in this case, I have applied for a Magellan Award, and if it's successful, next year we'll plan on going to El Salvador for field work. Since I lived in El Salvador for over 2 decades, you know, I know the country quite well and feel quite comfortable there. And I know the zone where the community of San Antonio, where this research project is taking place. I know that that area very, very well. So it will be in a way like going home, but yet going back with a role that hopefully is helpful to the learning that this research can provide. There's an archaeologist in El Salvador who's also tied in now to helping the women discover more about the archaeological sites in their municipality, which are a stone's throw from their back door. So I'm looking for local resources that can help this research, and hopefully when the research, if it gets to certain points, people take it over there with their own authenticity, as we say, or whatever. I would be very honored. So we'll see where this goes.
Right.
It's just a learning journey. But I think there's so much from this, and that, like, the transcription, the translation. How do you disseminate a project like this here and there? So I
Right.
think that that dissemination part will be very important.
Well, we will be excited to hear an update on this as this project or larger research unfolds. So you'll have to keep us posted on that.
Absolutely.
So, to kind of wrap everything up here, what parting advice would you give to a student that's just stepping on campus about undergraduate research or about attending a USC Palmetto College campus?
Yes, since I have the opportunity in my classes here to meet dual enrolled students or students just starting their learning journey, um, when I share a bit about, this project and or one's life, and I have met several students who are bicultural here. I First off, I think I would really love to support their opportunity to use research to understand more about their cultural origins or how they are experiencing life in our footprint. It's really an empowering opportunity, research, and what the university offers. I mean, resources such as yourself and the faculty. Um, I think too, not to be daunted by it. You know, I we are all researchers, we are all learners. And how research can just really reaffirm who we are and what we're learning and why we want to learn it. Not to be afraid of it. I think that would be my top suggestion. And there are resources at the university that will help all of us do this and do it as well as we can. Um, I think when I am talking with other students in my classes and they're like, "Wow, I didn't know I could do that," or "How did you do that? How did you?" It's just to find that faculty ear that you can share a dream with, or a concern, something you'd like to learn about and why, and how it maybe relates to your life or your studies, or how research can help you really figure out where you want to go with your university experience and degree. So I see this as just such a jewel of an opportunity. And I just thank you.
I 100% agree. I love that answer. I hope other students kind of heed your advice and, or at least consider it and think about research. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. And like I said, I hope we get an update as this research unfolds. So thank you so much, Cynthia. And we'll be looking for an update from you in the near future.
Thank you very much.